Hello, and welcome to you all to the first of a series of events that we're organizing between the London International Lesbians, ELOP, and the Lesbitude podcast. This is the Lesbitude Live. This will be a series of conversations around topics that are of interest to LGBTQ plus women, lesbians in the most inclusive sense of the word. And I would like to introduce Sarah to you, and thank you, Sarah, for being here tonight.
Thank you, and thank you ever so much for choosing excuse me, ELOP as a charity that you want to be involved with and work with. I will tell you just a little bit about ELOP. ELOP is an LGBT mental health charity. We're based in East London and very much have East London as our focus because there is nothing else like us in East London. But those people who come to use our service come from across London and elsewhere. We provide a range of services. We have the largest LGBT community counselling service in London, but we also work with LGBT families, young people. We have women's work, we do men's work, we do community safety work, we run a Tower Hamlets community forum, and I'm sure there's things that I'm missing. But what we are really focused on is thinking about people's mental health in the wider sense. Some of the additional work that we are currently doing is we do work around suicide prevention and mental health crisis prevention. So we do, beyond our counselling service, we can offer kind of crisis support. The other thing that's probably really exciting for us that we've managed to start next week is we are running the first ever introductory, so sort of foundational level counselling course that's LGBT affirmative. So the idea is that we will run that up to kind of qualification level so that we can ensure that people can really access support in a way that's most useful for them when they're not having to explain who they are. And I guess one of the reasons why we are really interested in thinking about our work around people who are victims of hate crime. We run mental health awareness workshops weekly on a Monday that have hate crime as their focus, thinking about how do you support people who've experienced hate crime and what does that mean for their mental health. And our mental health crisis plans can also be tailored to people who've experienced hate crime. Is that I think all of our community is impacted by hate crime, either directly because people have experienced it themselves, or kind of vicariously because they hear about it in the community and worry that it could happen to them or to us. And I guess if we think about being attacked for who we are, that has an absolute, I suppose goes to the core of who we are and really impacts on our feelings of self-worth and of safety. And when attacks come from people you know, because it's work colleagues, people in your family, your neighbours, then actually it places people in feeling at a level of insecurity and unsafety. That's not a word, but I'm sure you know what I mean. That really goes to the core of how people can feel okay about who they are, and issues around things like shame and stigma very much get attached to people's mental health, and people grow up in our communities overrepresented in a whole range of mental health issues that we shouldn't be in relation to things like suicide, self-harming, anxiety, depression. So I suppose we really do believe that in order to change our community's mental health, what we need to do is make the world a safe place for our community, and therefore tackling hate crime and thinking about hate crime is absolutely crucial for bettering our mental health. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. This is our first event, and this is a conversation on the LGBTQ plus community experiences of hate crime. We have chosen this theme to mark the Hate Crime Awareness Week, and let's get started with our panelists. Thank you very much, Sarah, and I would like to invite